The future of food, lab-grown meat, and vertical farming. Welcome back to Info Capsules. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic, the future of food. The way we produce food is set to change dramatically. We're talking about cutting-edge innovations like lab-grown meat and vertical farming. As the human population continues to grow, we need to find sustainable ways to feed everyone without causing irreparable harm to our planet. Let's explore how these promising technologies are paving the way for a more sustainable future. Lab-grown meat. First, let's talk about lab-grown meat, also known as cultured meat. This is not science fiction. It's happening right now. The process involves taking a small sample of animal cells, usually through a painless biopsy, and then nurturing those cells in a bioreactor, essentially a big tank that mimics an animal's body conditions. The cells are fed with a nutrient-rich serum, and they multiply and grow, eventually forming muscle tissue, which is the main component of the meat we eat. The end result? Real edible meat that didn't require an animal to be raised and slaughtered. Cultured meat has a massive potential to reduce the environmental footprint of our food system. Traditional meat production is one of the largest contributors to greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, and water pollution. Cultured meat requires less land, less water, and produces less greenhouse gas emissions. But it's not without its challenges. The cost of producing cultured meat is still high, although it's coming down rapidly as the technology improves. And there's the question of public acceptance. Will people be willing to eat meat grown in a lab? Vertical farming. The second innovation we'll discuss is vertical farming. In a vertical farm, plants are grown in stacked layers, often without soil and sometimes without sunlight. Instead, the plants are fed with nutrient-rich solutions and grow under LED lights. Vertical farming has some significant advantages over traditional farming. It's incredibly space efficient. A vertical farm can produce more food per square foot than a traditional farm. It also uses less water, as any water not absorbed by the plants can be recycled. Plus, because it's indoors, vertical farming isn't affected by weather or seasons, meaning food can be grown year-round. Like lab-grown meat, vertical farming could be a big part of a sustainable food future. It could reduce the amount of land we need for agriculture, thus helping to prevent deforestation and loss of biodiversity. It could also reduce the need for pesticides and fertilizers, as the controlled environment of a vertical farm reduces the risk of pests and diseases. But again, there are hurdles to overcome. The initial setup costs of a vertical farm can be high, and the technology relies heavily on electricity. It could also be challenging to grow certain types of crops, like grains, in a vertical farm. Conclusion. So, there you have it. The future of food might be in a lab or a high-rise building. It might sound strange now, but as these technologies develop, they could become commonplace. Lab-grown meat and vertical farming could play major roles in creating a sustainable food system, but they're not without their challenges. Needless to say, we are on the cusp of a potential revolution that could change the way we eat and live. As we look towards the future, it's clear that science and technology will will play a huge role in how we feed our growing population while caring for our planet. That wraps up our deep dive into lab-grown meat and vertical farming. It's a big topic, and there's so much to explore. But for now, remember, every bite you take is a part of the food revolution.